So most of you by now have probably already heard of the Jujutsu Kaisen drama, either through the video I uploaded yesterday or through other circles online, because a lot of big names either on YouTube, Twitter, and other forms of social media are starting to pick up on the story, talk about it, and the very essence of where the story began has been twisted and is now just completely out of control, and people have kind of lost the plot or the main reason why all this happened to begin with. And I just want to discuss all of this, and I also just want to show this statement I made literally yesterday after uploading my video, because I was getting a lot of people literally in my comment section on that video and on Twitter here and other places basically saying, why are you always mentioning Mappa? Why are you always mentioning Studio Mappa? And, you know, just read my post here. That's the reason. This is legit my reason. Just pause the video and read it. That is my reason why I mention them. Because yes, there is a bunch of animation studios that do exploit their workers. I'm not defending them. But out of all the years of me being a content creator, for over a decade, I have never seen a studio cause as many mental breakdowns to animators as Studio Mappa has done. Mental breakdowns to people dying at their desk, feeling like it's a workshop, literally feeling just like they're not cut out to even do anime anymore, literally grinding them down to the very bottom of the barrel, just grinding these people's very essence and soul out of their body. And when you see something like this from an animator just straight up talking about how they feel, and this episode director that, you know, released this episode yesterday, literally going as far as to fall on the grenade or knife that was being thrown at him yesterday, is just absolute insanity. You do not normally see this, and I feel like people are just saying, why are you always mentioning Mappa? You should shadowing Mappa. No, look, I don't see this every day. I do not see animators literally breaking silence and talking about this. Yeah, I'm willing to bet you there's a lot of horrific stuff in other animation studios. But when the Japanese animators are known for just keeping silent and quiet, break their silence and do this, that's not normal. It really just goes to show the extreme levels of what Studio Mappa is doing to people. And so next time I hear this, anytime anyone ever ask you why you always talk about Mappa, just link them to this video, link them to this post, because that's exactly what it is. Mappa is a company that legitimately does not care about their staff, does not care about anything but that paycheck. And at the end of the day, corporations technically want to make money for their stocks, etc., but they don't care about their people whatsoever. And people going out of the way to, like, jump in front and defend Mappa, it's like, bro, no, you're not defending the right people. Defend the animators. Defend the people that are making the stuff you love. The staff that's actually making everything that you love and enjoy for all these, you know, different series. I'm willing to bet you. I'm going to throw it out there. If Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Vinland Saga, etc. was under a different studio with the same talent, I'm willing to bet you people would be praising that studio. I'm willing to bet you. Mappa would be completely disregarded and nobody would be defending Studio Mappa. It's only because they have big titles is why people will jump in front of the bullets, basically, to try to defend a company that doesn't give a crap about their staff. It really irks me. And the reason why I'm getting heated about this is because the very subject of where, like, this all started, like with this anime, this episode director breaking down and having a literal mental breakdown live on social media yesterday, you know, it's now spun out of control to where people are like, it's the fandom's fault. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there is definitely a lot of toxic people, especially on Twitter, that, you know, has commented probably to this episode director and other animators that's worked on Jujutsu Kaisen. Hell, I made videos talking about it, that have definitely just did some horrible things they shouldn't say to animators. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, but people have done that. But in the grand scheme of things, when we look at everything, the real reason why this animator had a breakdown yesterday was not just because of the fandom. It mainly stems from the production cycle, the actual production of Jujutsu Kaisen, and how they just do not have enough time to work on the show. Like, that one thing I showed you in, you know, yesterday's video about Jujutsu Kaisen, there was a guy that had to do 20 cuts in 5 days. And we could assume, if we're taking an educated guess, that means they only have 5 days probably to work on the episode for Jujutsu Kaisen. And so they're right now, like, really just, they're at their desk right now, currently as we speak, probably sweating, trying to get the next episode ready to air this upcoming Thursday. So all these things considered, it's ridiculous how the conversation has shifted from, it is, you know, a Studio Mappa issue to now it's the fandom. And Mappa just gets to walk away scot-free like it's not their issue, not their problem. It's legit just, it's the fandom. And yeah, the fandom's toxic, but It's crazy to me. This is why Studio Mappa can continuously exploit their workers and just absolutely grind down great animators to such an extent. And what's crazier to me, is the fact that in 9 days, actually 8 days now, correction, Attack on Titan's final episode's gonna air. And guess who's making that? Studio Mappa. And I'm willing to bet you all this stuff that's going on right now, like with these animators, like just literally breaking down, it's going to be completely forgotten about in 8 days. People are going to watch that Attack on Titan episode, regardless if they love or hate the content within, like, story-wise. People are going to be like, man, this looks amazing and incredible. People are going to be doing that. And the thing is people are going to be like, oh, good job, Studio Mappa. You did a good job. I love this studio. Yeah, I'm willing to bet you people are just going to completely, once again, reinforce why Studio Mappa can get away with everything that they're currently doing. And it's just like, it's so sad seeing so many animators being crushed. And I've even seen people going to the extent of they knew what they signed up for. They knew what they were getting into when they decided to work for Studio Mappa. It's like, bro, you're not understanding the whole concept here, okay? We're not even looking at the cultural segment of how Japan is, but if we just look at it how it is as a new animator. Studio Mappa has these huge titles, okay? Massive, massive titles. And you're a newcomer to being an animator. You see these big titles, you're being offered a job, and being able to work on these said titles, that's huge for your resume. For a future career and, like, job offers, saying you've worked on Jujutsu Kaisen, you've worked on Chainsaw Man, Vinland Saga, etc., that's huge. That will take you places. Saying you worked on, some of the best episodes or the best anime. So you can factor all of this in. Why animators will want to do that job. And so it sickens me when people are like, when you have these animators led into a false sense of security, like they're going to have this on their resume. But also, a good example, Zom 100. I feel like that is perfect. With how many people loved Zom 100 that aired last season, I think it perfectly represents the case of what's just happening with a lot of animators at Studio Mappa. They go in bright-eyed, happy, newcomers to the industry, absolutely excited, giving their job 130%, more than 100%, and then when they do, they're crushed by their job, they're used and spat back out like they're just sewage. And Zom 100 perfectly displayed this story, and it is definitely very close to real life that resonated, I think, with a lot of people that probably just work on anime in Japan. So, just seeing all of that type of stuff, seeing how that was done, and then people having the audacity to say they knew what they were getting into and all that, they should have known better. You don't understand. When they go through all those years of college or university, whatever, getting grade A's, just studying to be able to be an animator or whatever job they want, and when they get there, they're excited. Especially if they know they can work on some of the biggest titles in Japan that everybody is talking about around the world. That's huge for them. So, once again, that's gross that people are trying to justify that this person should literally have a mental breakdown and they should have known better. It's like, no, that doesn't justify anything. But also how the conversation is really just spun out of control now, and it's literally about, oh, the fandom is at fault. And yeah, definitely after everything, the fandom definitely was being very harshly negative towards the episode, and just this episode director was really just taking the blows seriously, all the blows on himself and shielding everyone else a part of the team. And it's legit sad. But on top of that as well, yes, the episode did collapse. Like, anyone that really wants to look at it, the episode that was released yesterday was a collapsed episode. It was not finished, technically, it wasn't, and it's very clear, but it wasn't a bad episode. But the thing is that this is just going to continuously get worse if we continue to allow the actual main problems to continuously get away with this. And people are going to say, so what's the answer? What's the answer to all this? What can we do? We don't live in Japan. You talk about it. That's what you do. You make people more aware of it. You talk about it, you complain about it, you say that this is an issue, and more animators will want to speak up about it. Hell, more animators are speaking out about this, which could lead to change. And so I'm happy to see animators like this really speaking out about their feelings, their thoughts on this, because it is important. Because I don't think it's right for, everything going on, because this has led to the animator shortage in Japan. Why there's so many anime that get delayed nowadays just for this year is because of this. But I'm going to drop it. I'm going to leave it at that. I got very agitated, especially just seeing a lot of people once again messaging me, why you always, mentioning only Mappa, not other studios? Do you have a vendetta against them? All these different type of things. No. I don't see animators with other studios breaking down crying as much as I do with Mappa. All I'm going to say. But, okay. Be safe. Stay healthy, everyone. Chibi out.